Hello again, everybody. Well, this is a 1982 EXP. This one happens to be my convertible. But what we're focused on at the moment is this antenna. If you notice, this is the square base. I have a video on undoing the round base. And I forget to mention that in the round base antenna, you can actually disconnect the cord from the base if you tug down hard enough. I was able to do that on a couple other antenna bases, but for whatever reason my blue one didn't want to yank out. So if you have to fight it real hard, I wouldn't worry about it. But if it goes easy, it goes easy. It's to your advantage. Well, some of my cars have the square base. It's not a model year thing. It might be dependent on what factory they come out of. Almost all my cars are Canadian. Most of them have round bases, but some do have square. I can't tell you why at the moment. If I do, I'll share that in the description. But these are fairly easy to remove, as it turns out. If you remember the round base antenna, they had a shield that you popped off, and then you had to do 2 or 3 screws, and then unscrew the antenna stick itself. Unscrew it, pops right out. So I wanted to put a kink in mine so it would fit in the garage or whatever, so I got that to contend with. But otherwise, everything else I'm going to show you is applicable to yours. So, what do we got going on here? There's just a few pieces. There's this black space here that makes it sit level. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the same one used on Mustangs and stuff, because most of those cars have the square antenna bases too. And then on top is a kind of thicker metal chrome piece plate, and then what screws on to that is this little collar. You can see it's got 1 flat spot and 2 flat spots. So if you turn it like that, you can see that you can actually fit a wrench around it. And then once you undo it, just like that, you can see your antenna just drop all the way through it. So I'll fish all this out here. You can see that this rubber base isn't mounted to anything. It's got a couple pegs to mate with some receiver holes on the chrome metal base. Otherwise it's not bonded to the, or at least this one in particular isn't bonded to the quarter panel in any way. I'm sure some that have been replaced might be glued onto the quarter panel instead. I might be wrong. But we'll fish this out the bottom here and we'll show you what's at the other end of the stick of the antenna itself. I'm going to sit you down for a second. Normally this wouldn't be too hard, being my thing is, we'll say custom. It's not that easy to work with. You can see that this is what goes on the underside. So up inside the quarter panel, it's the same as the other antenna base models. If I were to clean this up, you'd see 3 holes, 1, 2, 3 for the round base to mount there. So these are totally interchangeable, as long as you're fine with messing around with the cable. Because to my knowledge, this one does not pull out, or maybe it does. But what goes on is this one has these 2 little tabs, or 2 little pairs of claws, I should say, and they go up inside the quarter panel just like that, and you can see that they're self-leveling. They're below the pivot, so you can install this almost any way you want. If you wanted it at a slight angle, you're able to do that, but you can't deviate more than like 10-15 degrees. But the whole point of these is so that when you install them, they sit level like that and they catch inside the quarter panel. I showed you right in here that the spot is just big enough, or just small enough, to fit these 2 claws in there about perfectly. And then you can see that this piece that we removed earlier is on top of there. simply screws onto this, which squeezes your chrome base and your spacer. So if your base is for whatever reason loose or something, you're going down the road and you see a little bit of shimmy, or you see it turning some, you simply unscrew it all the way, clean off this mating surface, clean off this. You can see this has been tight forever, but it still gets dirty in here. So that's something you'll want to do as part of your regular maintenance, is once a year or every couple of years, unscrew this just enough to have it sitting up like this around the antenna. Clean off this as good as you can, because it will get dirty no matter how tight you make it. And then do the same on the bottom side of this. Clean up the two pieces. Again, just move them so that they're like this. Pretend the antenna is going through both of them. Clean up both the mating surfaces. It's a good time to polish this if you want, or take a wire brush to it if it's really pitted. You can see mine's got some pitting on it, but it's still relatively good chrome. So that's all different stuff you can do at that moment, because it only takes a few minutes. I was able to get this off with a set of adjustable pliers, because I don't plan on using this. I prefer the round base, but this was so easy to remove, I might just use this. This was ridiculously easy. But an adjustable wrench is really good for these. I imagine these caps vary in wrench size, so I won't tell you what they are. I don't even know what they are. Just put something adjustable on it, you'll be fine. Use an adjustable wrench instead of pliers, and you'll save the chrome on it. That's about all there is to it. I'll see. It looks like this black part, it's like a kind of like a rubber spacer, can separate from this housing thing here. So I'll do that real quick. Survey says no, ain't looking like it. I don't think these two separate, or maybe they do, and for whatever reason this one just won't. Like my blue car, it's supposed to separate, but for whatever reason it just didn't. So we'll leave it at that, guys. Have good luck. We'll see you next time.